how's it going? Welcome to another edition of I Am Kenny Biddle. I happen to be that guy, Kenny Biddle. And in this episode, we're going to play with the Ouija board. Ooh. What I did was, I've been having discussions about this thing for the last couple weeks, so I decided to throw a party and see if anybody would show up that wanted to play. I invited about 80 people, and 4 showed up. And with those 4 and my wife and myself, there were 6 of us. And unfortunately, every one of us is skeptical. We pretty much all believe that this is just a game, as you'll see in the interviews. At the beginning of the video, I do very short interviews, 3 questions to each person, and just to get you an idea of who you're dealing with. And you'll see that it's pretty much on the skeptical side all the way through. I really wanted some believers to come out. I wanted some people to come out that had played with this kind of thing, and to them, they believe it works, because I wanted to see how they do it, how their method is compared to what we were doing, and more or less have someone that was, I guess, supportive of this game being something like with ghosts and spirits and opening portals and stuff. But unfortunately, nobody with those beliefs showed up. So, the general consensus was that it doesn't work with ghosts and spirits. It doesn't open portals, stuff like that. And you'll see the video. We go through different ways of playing with the planchette. We talk about kind of philosophical ideas about like why it moves and how the people that are playing it, the players, are manipulating it, probably without knowing. Yes, we do mention the ideomotor effect, but we also go into other ideas. It's not a formal experiment. I don't want you to think, like, oh, you're not doing science here. Pretty much, we're just doing what we've read about, what we've seen videos about, what we've heard people tell us how to use this thing, and we're just seeing what happens. We do try different ideas, but we do have 6 people that are skeptical about it. So, as you may guess, it's really not a spoiler alert, but nothing really happens. But the conversations are pretty cool. I do apologize for the volume. I was playing with a new video camera that I got, this guy, and I'm not really used to the volume controls. It's a lot different than what I'm used to, and I didn't have a microphone plugged in, so the volume might be a little low. I apologize for that. Just bump it up as soon as I, stop talking. Bump up your volume, and then when it gets to the end, about an hour or so, then you might want to turn your volume down. It should be good though. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to leave your comments in the lines below. I don't know why the video is going all bright now. Leave your comments, suggestions. If you're in the Philadelphia area and you want to tag along the next time I do this, please feel free to message me and let me know, because I'm looking to do this again, and I really would like to have some people that are into it and really think it works. I'm not here to make fun of you. That wasn't the point of the party, and I made that clear in the description. I'm not here to make fun of you or to poke fun at you or make you look stupid or anything like that. I really want to see what people that are using it are doing and why they believe it works. So I'm going to shut up because I think I'm rambling on, and I'm going to start the video. So enjoy the video. I got to start writing a script to this. All right, so what's your name?
My name is Stephanie Bone.
And tonight we're going to play with the Ouija board.
There's a bug on my forehead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's for science.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts, beliefs on the Ouija board or talking boards?
My official thoughts are that it is a board game. It's for entertainment only. Any movement of the planchette is unconscious on the part of the participants.
Okay, so we're going to try it tonight, and would you consider yourself open to the idea that it might work?
Sure. I actually would But I'm pretty open and objective towards any sort of idea, but it just needs to be beyond any doubt.
Okay. Good. Okay, what's your name?
Donna?
And give me your thoughts and or beliefs on Ouija boards and talking boards.
I just think they're a board game. I'm not looking for anything special. So, if it moves, it moves.
So you're... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you open to the idea that it might work?
Maybe 5% chance, but probably not. It's a game. It's
Okay.
usually the other person moving it, or that's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what's your name?
Mitch Silverstein.
Okay, Mitch. Can you tell me briefly your thoughts and or beliefs with talking boards, Ouija boards?
I was just talking. I screwed up already. Ended this out.
Okay, sure.
I have a little anecdote about that. In the '80s, I worked for Toys R Us, and there were times that working there seemed like the portal to hell, but it wasn't because of the Ouija boards. I think it's a game. It was in the game aisle. It was right next to many other board games, and I don't think personally that there's evil behind it or much of any spiritual nature other than the people using it.
Okay. Are you open to the idea that it might work?
I'm open to trying to see if something happens, and there'd have to be some good proof.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm open to anything, pretty much.
Cool. All right. That's it. Okay, what's your name?
Mark Huffer.
And tell me your thoughts, beliefs on the Ouija board or talking boards.
I mean, it's possible that maybe you are tapping into some part of the subconscious that nobody quite understands or knows yet, but I don't know what it is. I'm not really willing to say it's ghosts or spirits, but who knows?
Okay. Are you open to the idea that it might work tonight?
Possibly, but probably not.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, what's your name?
Cat Rhodes.
And briefly, just tell me what your thoughts or beliefs are on Ouija boards and talking boards.
Well, until recently, well, 5 years, really didn't have much thought of it. It wasn't something that was in my family, and I was raised Roman Catholic. I mean, you see the movies or whatever, but so to me, doing research, it's a board game, a Hasbro game. It's interesting how people respond to it, and the psychological impact that it has on some people, like not having it in their house, or not touching it, or not burning it. So it's fascinating. It's a fascinating subject to me.
Okay. Are you open to the idea that it might possibly work tonight?
Sure.
Cool.
You never know.
Great. That's all I need. Thank you.
What's your name?
My name's Kenny Biddle.
How do you feel about the Ouija board?
I think it's a board game. I don't think there's any spiritual component. I don't think there's any mystical forces that are moving the planchette and giving us messages. I think it's all the ideomotor effect. I think it's psychological. I think it's a thrill game for teenagers. And that's pretty much it. I don't think it's going to work. It never has worked for me. And that's pretty much it, yeah. Am I open to the idea that it might work tonight?
Yeah, are you open to the idea that it will work?
Yeah, I'm always open. I mean, just because it hasn't worked in the past doesn't mean it might not tonight. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm trying it. That's why we set up some experiments. So we're going to see what happens. If it moves on its own, awesome.
Yeah.
We have something to look at.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, so we got to set it up. We got it set it up. Cut that one part out. We got it set up. We have one Ouija board on top of another one, but we're gonna start
We're
messing
using the
around.
vortex.
We're gonna start with normal play, like it's supposed to be used.
Which is?
With a planchette, just put your fingers on it. Everybody you're gonna use one hand. You don't have to use both.
Oh, okay.
And just, I guess, move it around, see what happens, and then start asking questions. We are going to try and contact Houdini tonight.
kiss me tonight? Oh
Someone's getting lucky.
There goes Jesus.
boy! Woo!
That moved pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's a game. It can be fun.
But yeah, let's try Houdini. Ask any kind of questions you want.
Houdini, are you here?
You can ask other
Yeah.
questions. Oh, sorry.
Houdini, if you can hear us, can you tell us what your code word is? The code word that you gave your wife? We'll give you a little hint. We know what it is, so we just want to make sure that it's you. Can you spell it out?
I'm really feeling the urge to push it at this point in time. No, I'm not even kidding. Like, even just like a little twitch like that, where
So, what are you saying? You're feeling?
The
No.
urge to move it?
yeah, like the urge to move it, like just sitting here like this, and I almost just want to apply a little bit of pressure, and that's all it
To
takes to
relax,
move it.
right.
Yeah.
So there's that added pressure, I guess, now to resist that urge,
Yeah.
because you wanna push it, but
Absolutely.
interesting.
At least for me, it kind of feels like my hands like, come on, move. This isn't a relaxed position.
Okay. They were not ghost kids that came through. They were real.
Watkins.
It's not kids.
Houdini, what was your wife's name?
If you can hear us, can you spell out the name on the gravestone that you went to visit in Mount Moriah Cemetery?
Move it back and forth a couple of times. Just move it around a little bit. Don't pay much attention, and then just
More comfortable with your arm?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's more comfortable with mine closer to me. Yeah.
So we understand now that selfishness comes into play here. Okay, good to know.
I'm kind of curious if where you put your fingers makes it easier, like right there. What do you think?
It's easier on the edge. Yeah. I actually moved it by mistake when I first put my fingers on it.
Houdini, what is your middle name?
Maybe you can tell us that.
You want to switch it up,
It's on his.
Yeah.
Mitch,
Yeah.
Donna? You guys try.
You guys try,
Okay,
yeah.
Why don't we try? Why don't you try some questions that you guys do know, like alternate. Ask questions that you do know the answer to. Doesn't have to be Houdini. About anything like in your life, your hobbies, whatever.
Makes it hard.
I know, he's putting you on the spot now.
Well, first let's just finish with Houdini.
Okay.
Maybe he could let it know what his real last name is. It's
Maybe
actually
he's
on
coming
his
here.
headstone
Maybe
and his
he's on his
gravesite.
way.
Yeah, he didn't get
And
here
he
yet.
didn't get here yet. He's like, wait.
Well, please tell us your real last name for those who don't know. Or not. It's a beautiful family pie.
It is, yeah, we visited it. It's
Where is it?
amazing. It's in Queens.
Queens, New York.
Queens, New York.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a bust of him, like right at the back of it, and like a real long curved bench. And there's the plaque on the front. What's the name of the magicians like group or whatever? They take care of the bust.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like American magicians or whatever. I don't know.
American Magicians
Association or something.
Big believers.
Yeah.
Figuring that all of us skeptics here are preventing it from moving. So I can see that as their
Asking
argument.
an emotional connection. You're asking generalized questions about maybe tombstones or things that are now. What about things like his connection to his mother or something that had,
Significance.
significance?
But I'm not good at that.
His most traumatic, experiment with defrauding someone
Or how many times he may have failed at some of his best
Right.
escapes before he went public with it, during testing.
Right.
I mean, if he had any really close calls that the public doesn't know about.
I mean, you have a wealth of information, like what psychics that he, went after, get names of that. How did it feel that last time that he got hit in the stomach? And did he know he was going to die? Stuff like that.
Well, maybe he can tell us what he wants to talk about. Let's just slide it back around a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny watching from this angle, seeing your guys' fingers, how even your smallest twitch is moving.
It
Yeah,
does move
it does,
it.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. Because I was like, what? I think ours moved more than yours did.
Yeah, so just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I know how you feel about, you just want to, it's like, oh, does it want me to move it? Or, because I had the same thing, it's like, oh, I just want to, it wants to go. Like, I want to go.
Probably when it's done with a bunch of susceptible people, maybe more than two, it's easier. Because if two people sort of get the same urge to go in a certain direction,
Mhm.
there's less pressure that has to be put on either one.
Right.
So right now, if I want to go to the J, I have to do all the pushing towards you. But
Right,
if
right.
two people wanted to go to the J,
Yeah,
it's like
you
half
let
the
it
effort
just go.
each one.
Mhm.
It'll probably be easier than one. I'm good with that. Yeah.
I just
Why don't you take a break?
Oh.
What was your
That's
thought?
a good one, yeah.
That's a good one.
Conscious.
I don't even remember what I said.
Talking about
I said,
Have
well, I'm just wondering how. I said I know it's called your subconscious, meaning you're not conscious of it. But to me, if I knew that the planchette had to move to the H, I would be going, don't move it, don't move it, don't move it. I wouldn't be that disconnected from. I don't know. I guess everybody's disconnected from their subconscious. Like, how does it happen where someone's that disconnected from what they're doing that they unconsciously move it to the H and they're not aware of it?
Well, I guess some of it would be too, though. How much are you anticipating, or do you want that answer? Like, is there someone in love with me? And of course, you want it to go to yes. And,
So
or
like the emotion is clouding your
yeah, or like
rational-
like
rationality.
What is my lover's name? And of course, you're gonna put in a name that you know in some way, shape, or
Well,
form.
emotion has to be part of it because when people sit down, if they're believers in this, they sit down, they're getting excited, their adrenaline's rushing already because they know it's going to work.
Right.
So that has to play into it also.
I mean, but I want it to work. I would even want my subconscious to be doing
want
it,
it to go.
but I can't disconnect from it to that extent.
Well, you just said you want it to work.
I
You're
do.
You're not saying I know it works, which
No.
is what a lot of people do when they sit down to use it.
Right. I guess.
Yep.
It sounds like, yeah, you have this desire for it to work,
Like I wish
But
it would
you're-
work. It would be great.
but
I
logic
would
and
ask you
reason,
a million questions,
comes through.
You know, but
yeah, your logic mind is saying, no, it's not going to happen this way.
right.
I got to wait and see if it moves. Whereas people that truly believe it works, they feel that little jerk movement from the other guy, and they translate that as
Oh,
the
it's
planchet's
moving.
moving,
It's moving.
and they go with it.
So then they unknowingly move it to the H.
They
Well, kind of like it. I guess what he's saying is like, okay, so like just put your fingers there. So like we're both excited. We both want this to work real well, right? So like, what's my lover's name? And then if I just start moving it a little bit, like
Like you're gonna go with it.
because you're not sure if it's me or if it's the other spirit, and
Yeah,
then
certainly.
all it takes is that little jerk, and then look, we're spelling out Kenny.
son of a bitch.
Secret number.
But especially if
TMI.
you have adrenaline and everything else, are you necessarily
By the
paying
way,
enough attention?
Get four hands on this. Okay. Four. All right. Now let's with the lightest touch possible, bring it to the X. Okay. Lightest touch
Where's the
possible.
X?
That's
Over here.
That's good.
Over
Oh,
there.
okay.
All right. Really, with the lightest touch possible. Right. So I mean, how much are you actually pushing? Who's actually feels like they're really pulling it?
I don't
doing
even
anything.
think I'm pushing.
Right? Anybody?
No.
No, I was not, purposely I was not putting any pressure on it whatsoever.
So somebody
But
was.
you
Who
guys
was
got
that?
it over there to the X because it takes so
What?
little effort when you're combining
Were you
people
pushing
together.
Let's see. Can I do this with a fingernail?
I didn't feel like I was pushing it that much either.
I didn't
You
either.
didn't feel like you were pushing it
You
that much.
did.
He
You
didn't
just
feel
did
like
it.
he was pushing it that much. He purposely didn't push it.
The force
so
is
we
spread
all
out.
pushed it,
Right.
but
Right.
we didn't realize we were pushing it.
The force
Right,
that's
so-
required to push it is spread out among 3 or 4 people
Right.
instead of one.
Right.
But see, he said move it. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. So like, if I'm sitting here wanting
It's a move.
something to move it, and I'm not moving it, how do I then translate it to I'm moving it? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so I think that is where the idiomotor effect comes in. Because if you know the answer, if people are asking questions that they already know the answer to, and if all 4 of you know the answer,
If
you
someone
subconsciously-
starts moving it,
somebody starts
then I
moving
would
it because
go with it,
they
whatever.
think, like,
So I'm not going to be the one moving it because
Right.
I'm going, don't
Yeah.
move
If
it,
you
don't move it,
have-
don't move it, even if I know the answer.
But
if
like,
you have all your fingers, everybody put fingers on that. So, who invited you here? And you all know it's me. Okay, if you believe in this, if you believe that this works, all it takes is one person to start going towards the K. And just like what Mitch did with the X, everybody starts going with
I
it.
know you're pushing it.
yeah.
Yeah, you're putting it. I can see you're putting more effort in.
Well, I
because-
wanted to see if while she wasn't paying
Right.
attention, if she would just kind of let it happen. Right?
Because usually when you put it on that light, you can tell that the person's not really making heavy contact
Right.
with it. But when it was moving, your finger stayed in the exact same spot. It looked like it was being pushed. But before, I don't know who had the most effort or pressure behind it.
Yeah.
Well, we're
But
all
it still
working
was
together
very-
at that
right.
point.
It's
But
still very,
if
very
you
low,
have
so
that little twitch or that little movement,
it might get it started. Might
So
get it
how
going.
about try spelling out Kenny?
All right. Well, with very, very little pressure.
Very little, yeah.
Try hardly touching it. All right, where's the K?
over here.
All right, so.
Tana doesn't even have her fingers
I
on.
know. Because I don't want to push it.
Well, I see you're still putting most of the pressure behind it.
Am I?
Well, that was a little less. That was good. That was good. Now, we are purposely trying to move it, but with very, very, very little pressure, right? So we can determine how light of a touch
The
it
hardest
is.
part is just the getting it started. Once it's moving, it doesn't really.
I honestly think it has to be someone intentionally being deceitful.
That's what I think most of the time.
Yeah,
And,
there's always
and
kids
it's
over
just
there, look.
like we've just proven
Shut
how,
up.
how easy it is to move it without anybody noticing.
Right.
But then, of course, if you buy into it, I guess it's kind of like that whole hysteria, like the mass hysteria, where you start feeding off each other, and then it's
Groupthink.
Plus, I mean, most of the time, people are in the dark. You have a few candles lit. You're not gonna know. Like we're
Who's moving
obviously looking right
Yeah.
now, but you're not gonna
It's not
be
dark
able to
enough.
see. Well, it's because of the camera light, but yeah, like if we did it in the dark and just had a few candles lit, you know, you're sitting in the
Candles.
basement.
Well, aren't most of these
That's it. We need candles.
aren't most of these glow in the dark anyways?
Some of them
Some
are.
So
of
that
the
you
ones,
can
yeah.
turn out all the lights.
And some of the new ones are.
I have the glow in the dark one. It's over there. in the
Quick
blue.
question: did anybody else notice that this was made in Salem, Massachusetts?
Yes,
Yeah.
I noticed it earlier.
I just thought that was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's going to spell.
Okay,
you can't
and
see.
we got candles going for ambiance. There's another one over there. Okay,
It's dark.
it's dark.
Maybe
It's very dark.
Let's do just a quick experiment with this thing for a second. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to prove this works or not, but this is just something I want to try.
What is it?
This is a planchette that Shannon, Sylvia, and I developed to play around with things like this.
Okay.
Okay, you see it's basically a scale. It's small, so we're only going to probably each get a finger on it, but let's try to get a finger on it. Now, can you see the scale?
Yeah.
I can't, but you can.
Alright, yeah, the angle's bad. Usually you gotta stand above it to see it. But the whole idea is to put very little pressure on this. And if somebody tried to push it, see the pressure would go up. Well, let's see how much pressure it might take to move this one. You don't get a grip on it. Like this, you can get a grip on the lettering.
Can we put a little bit of baby powder on it?
On which?
On top of this so that we can get a better grip? See if that
I think
makes
you get a worse grip if you put the power on
Yeah,
top
with
of
Powder,
it.
yeah,
I actually
powder.
have a pretty good grip on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my hand must be dry. So,
I'm moving it right now.
right, but I can't see what the numbers. It's like up in the hundreds.
115, 130 something.
Alright, stop moving it for a
160.
second. Move to as light a touch as possible. Touch it. What is it at? Like 40? 50?
40-ish. Yeah, between
Alright,
40
try
and
moving it
50.
back this way.
We're up around 100
Do
something.
120, 30.
Yep, 150.
So it does take pressure, but not a lot of pressure. I mean, if one person wanted to move it, like if I had to move it,
Yep.
well, about 150. Well,
Mhm.
once you get it going though.
Yeah. You're dropping down pretty quickly. It's just hard because it's hard to get a grip on it.
Yep.
That's why, I mean, you have to push
Mhm.
hard on it to get
Right.
it to move.
Right.
Yeah.
But the light touch.
This you can just drag by like barely touching it. You know?
Alright, let go for a second again. Let's see.
Mhm.
Alright, put your fingers on it very lightly. I'm just curious. I never really played with this before. So just barely touching it is about 40, 30 to 40.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move it again.
We're actually getting better with this.
Yeah,
one
we're getting
now.
better.
It's staying down around 110.
Yeah, but still not a lot of pressure. Alright, let's take 2 fingers off. Let's just do 2 people here. You 2 guys do it first.
Okay.
Okay, now try to move it. Yeah, you see, a little less pressure with just 2 people. That went up to about 80.
It's cool that it still registers though,
Mhm.
even if it's less, you know.
Right, but it was less pressure with just two light fingers. Interesting. It does show that you have to put increased pressure on it, but it's
Okay.
not a lot. And it was a little bit easier with more fingers. Well, that's what we found with this too.
Yeah,
So
right.
there's a little bit less pressure.
I think the question would be if you could get a better grip on it, you know, just how negligible would the pressure actually be to
Well,
get it
you
moving?
can probably do it by keeping your fingers on the edge.
Oh, I didn't think
Okay.
of that.
Keep your fingers on the edge. Like this. And real light. Yeah, it still goes up to like 90. What? What? Yeah, it's still pressure even with less of a grip.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to really, I mean, with this, if if it was being moved without people, without the force, you wouldn't see a change in the weight or the pressure on it. The force is the force, which is about 3 times the resting, right? Because it was about 30-ish, 30 to
Yeah,
40
it's
grams,
between-
and it went to 100 to 120.
It's between 2 and 3.
So yeah, so it's almost 3 times the force to make a planchette move.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, this one might be a little easier because you can get a
Alright.
grip on the letters.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can. Well, we're gonna have the light from the camera, but with all the lights off and just cameras, let's see if we can tell who's moving it.
So do we just want random people to start moving it?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I think it would be easier to not know. If it's you, like your finger is in total shadow, so I can't tell.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got, he's in a good spot for grip,
Yeah.
right on those letters.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't have nails that block it. Well, actually,
You know what was interesting though? I was
I did-
trying, you were putting enough pressure on it, I was trying to divert it and I couldn't. I didn't want to,
Yeah,
I
you
didn't want to
can't.
go like that.
Yeah, I was
I was
trying to try
divert
it
it
first.
a little bit.
What do you mean
Yeah,
divert?
one
Like
person-
stop him?
Like stop him from
Or-
moving it, 'cause
Change
he knew he was
direction.
moving
Yeah,
it.
change direction. He was going this way. I was getting myself on the side of the eye. I was going to try to.
I could see your finger. I could see everybody else's fingers moving.
Really?
Yeah, like Donna's was a good example because I'm in a horrible spot, but like her fingers as we were moving, like can you just move it? I could see her fingers kind of coming up and off,
Right.
and I could see
Ah.
the same thing happening with yours.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch's was the only one that kind of stayed firmly, but I could still see his sliding around a little bit, where mine essentially stayed put.
Right. You got yourself a grip on these letters over
Yeah,
here.
see, I have nothing here.
Right.
And especially
Right.
if you're already going one way, for me to move it back or.
Well, why don't we
this
try
way.
turning it?
But that also shows you though that truly one person can command the board.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
have 2, 3, 4 people working this, one can certainly take command of this board
Or
and not.
Right.
She wants more of a grip, right?
or like that, the side,
Okay, yeah.
because the side was the best grip.
That's right.
I'm gonna. You can use the letters to try to get a little grip. I'm gonna stay floating in the soft spot. Alright, let's give it a. Let's go. Speaking in tongues, it's happening.
Oh my god!
Mitch is
It was
possessed.
the candles.
That's it. It was the
Yeah,
candles.
That's
all
what
it
did
took.
it.
Son of a
The
bitch.
ambiance.
I want to. Let's just do like a figure eight or something like that. Let's get it moving. You know. Yeah, you can really slide around. It's hard. You got to use these letters to get a better grip. Once it gets going, though.
It's kind of hard to coordinate.
Yeah, what 8 are we doing? Jesus.
Yeah.
This is
That's
not an
okay.
eight.
I was trying to screw it up a little bit. All right, let's go back to center and not. Okay, just so we can get a feeling of what it feels like when you're sliding it around. So. Yeah, we are still waiting for something to come and possess this planchette.
Well, to move it.
Let's move it towards the D. Okay, very lightly again, hardly put any pressure on it. It's still very little pressure, but we know there's more pressure, 2 to 3 times the pressure to move it.
How about, here's a question for how many people are sitting at the board?
That's a good point. How many people are sitting at the board? W.
I'll be honest, I started pushing it in that direction.
Mhm.
Everybody else
Right.
just kind of kept it going.
Yeah. Like I said, one person can command the board totally. Actually, that would be pretty interesting to get 2 people with opposing views trying to command the board.
Yeah.
What's that?
Those wobble.
It's interesting from outside looking and watching everyone's hands. You have that, everyone has that little shake here and there, and I can see sometimes it affects the movement.
You can tell more from their wrist than their fingers.
It's not a comfortable position at all.
It's because it's the work of the devil.
Yeah, now I can feel it. We're all fighting.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to pull it in their own
Yeah, I was
direction.
gonna say everybody move it towards you.
All right.
Hold very lightly and just try
Yeah.
to move it towards you. Okay.
Yep, that's how it just felt.
Yeah. So I mean, there's got to be some battles going on in the world of Ouija. Yeah.
Cool.
Because I'll be honest, I pushed it towards the W and then I just kind of nudged it in that direction just to see, like, okay, you know, will we all end up on a word kind of collectively, or...
All right, let's switch out some people.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I got nothing for that.
You didn't offer alcohol this time.
I did. I said it was like it was supposed to be a tiki party, so
Oh.
said we. I think I actually wrote you could drink.
B. Stop fighting it, Kenny.
Are you supposed to ask a question?
Yeah, what are we going for here?
Oh, I thought we were just moving it around.
See, he's moving around.
Not the first time. The first time somebody else started it.
I'm not doing anything.
I just went with it.
Okay. So let's ask a question then.
Okay.
Let's still try and contact Houdini. So, well, who was the first psychic that you exposed? What was your greatest magic trick? I feel like I'm doing an EVP session.
You're supposed to wait 1 to 5 minutes.
I'm not waiting 5 minutes.
1 to 5.
No, if they're here, they tell me now. This is my house. It's my rules.
Is it Kenny's house?
Don't push it to me. I'm looking right at you. Let's try something we know. Who's holding the video camera right now? It's funny because I had to actually look at the board. Where's the letters?
So yeah, get somebody who knows where every letter is by heart.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
uncomfortable. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like in here. I'm feeling it in my shoulder.
That's
a
why
lot.
you're a twitch.
I'm a twitch.
That's why you twitch, I said.
Almost be easier to do it with your feet.
Did you just say feet?
Sorry.
How you gonna put your toe on it?
I was
We
laughing
make
at the
interesting
look that
videos.
you gave
Well,
you.
No, I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, make a much
Elbows, yeah,
bigger
so
thing
I'm
and
like
then make the board
Having
like
my
this
arm
big.
up off the.
Your elbow was just down.
No, I just put.
Switch it.
Yeah, I'm actually
So
kind of relaxed from here to here.
You're better than I am.
you put your. You just relax your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Shuey's back
Is that
there.
cheating? I don't know. That's what I'm
It's
asking.
cheating. Well, it's just the same. Isn't it the same as putting your
That's
elbow
why.
on the table?
That's why
Yeah.
I asked about the whole.
What are they gonna get mad about our table manners?
Yes.
No elbows on the table.
That wasn't in the rule book.
No.
Oh.
It just said to
Mm,
put
she did
2
read the
fingers
rule
on the
Oh,
planchette.
snap. Game
Mhm,
Master
that's what I
told
was
you.
trying to clarify.
At least somebody read the rules.
What was the year that Houdini died? Why is Mitch taking pictures?
I think he's in video. Or is it video? No?
Oh, you know
Taking
what?
photos.
I did some more research because I did a podcast about the Ouija boards. Found out that a popular Ouija board demon is Zozo.
We're not calling specific demons.
Yes, we are. Apparently, from what I found, it's from a movie. But, so, hey.
But I would assume that if Zozo was a popular demon, he's probably busy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd actually come.
It's
Well,
Saturday night
skeptics.
after all.
Zozo understands
he
that
can
I'm
house
Kenny
hop.
Biddle, so.
He
Oh,
can house
there you
hop.
go.
Yeah.
Let Zozo know that. It's a
Yes.
good possibility.
This is very important work, so Zozo needs to show up.
Well, just so these letters are raised here.
There's nothing over here that I agree with Donna. There's like
No
can't
group
do
on here.
anything.
I'm
You're
not
just
even
the walls
doing
as a
anything. I'm
passenger.
just resting.
I'll
here.
trade you. I mean, I'm not actually trying to move it right now, so we can trade spots.
I love how he says right now. Let me read it right now.
Right now, I'm not trying to.
Have I
freak
not
everyone out.
admitted it every time I pushed it in a specific direction?
Yes.
This, yeah. Now I have a good grip on a star here.
You know, your son must have interesting stories at school.
The conversation.
What'd your parents do this weekend? Oh, they were playing with Ouija boards, trying to contact a demon to prove it wrong.
We had a Ouija party.
Wasn't it Charlie, that whole thing that you
That was
did?
the pencil, yeah. That was for a movie.
What was the question you asked 5 minutes ago? Year.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to call for Zozo.
Oh yeah, that was after.
Who, every time I say that name, I keep thinking like Zozo the Clown.
Oh
Stop.
no! No
Sorry.
clowns.
Stop. I'm fine playing this, but clowns are just no.
Oh my god.
Like,
Alright.
I just pictured it. I want
It. Oh, that was the best movie ever.
They're
Yes.
remaking it.
Shut up.
Okay.
Don't
How
worry,
about what year is it now?
So who's helping it go now?
I think it's between one of those two.
Why you gotta blame me?
Because you're white.
Oh. Okay. Lou. This is the slowest demon spirit ever.
Zozo's totally overrated.
That's
He's tired.
Which one of you is speeding up now? Like, okay,
Kenny.
I'm gonna make Kenny happy. Isn't this how every horror movie like ever starts?
Except we know what's in the basement.
Kenny, you're ridiculous.
Sorry, I'm not even watching the thing here.
Come on, put your finger back on it.
Well.
So it's 2012. Okay.
End of the world.
Oh my.
Oh, you're right.
How about the month? What month is it? I can really use a drink. Like rum.
Rum?
Rum.
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 I could be a pirate.
What is it?
No.
No. October of 2012.
That was when the year was. It wasn't that when we were supposed to die.
That's when we did an end of the year.
That was like the first one, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know. No,
First time the world ended?
I don't know.
We had
First
two
or
in the same
second.
year.
One was May, I think, and one was October.
Wait a minute. Did this just go all Shyamalan on us? Did the world really end in October 2012 and we all just can't deal with it?
This is the Matrix.
We're all ghosts.
Yeah.
No wonder it doesn't work.
Wow. Look, that's a mind fuck. We're ghosts playing with a Ouija board to contact ghosts
Yeah.
to talk to us.
That actually does sound like a good parody, though. What are you doing? You're a ghost. Oh.
But it
Remember
doesn't
Elon
work.
Musk? Who says like there's multiple realities or something.
May we speak to Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice. Nobody's laughing.
Why is there a spot on this board that says Robert Aikman? That's an oddly specific answer.
I made this board specifically for a church that, when I was a ghost hunter, we used to go to a lot. And at the end of my ghost hunting days, when I was testing it, that's why I made this board. It was specific to that
Oh, okay.
location. Alright, so how about we try just me and him? Come on, big boy. Switch.
Fight.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Alright. Is Jesus secretly in love with me?
Jesus loves everybody.
Sorry. Alright, I'll be serious now.
Does Kenny have a chance?
Chance at what?
Oh, you know it's
With
going
me.
yes.
Of course he
You would
does.
give it up easy.
Can I stop recording now?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Did something die in the basement next door?
Something actually died in the basement next door.
Yes.
That's a
It's
good
probably
question.
still there.
Are we talking about an animal or your horrible neighbor?
She's still
Yeah.
alive.
She's still alive.
That look.
But there was
you
a
have no
suitcase
idea.
that sat out on her front porch for how long was that there?
It's still out there.
Oh my god.
So wait, what died in her basement?
We don't know yet.
Who knows?
They couldn't find it because they couldn't get down there.
But it smells like death. So
Oh,
Yeah,
That's-
thanks.
that's lovely. Affecting home values all over the neighborhood.
hopefully not for too much longer, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. This is the second time it's happened.
Just instead of making, some ghost-defying project, make a flamethrower and just
But that house is attached to another house.
Yeah.
spray the other house in flame retardant.
Collateral damage. Like, sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call the fire
Acceptable.
department ahead of time.
Take all your good stuff out of the house now.
Let's
Thank you. Can I turn this off?
let's play with the glass that I made.
Oh yeah.
Let's bring it over.
Are you supposed to start with? Is there anyone here?
Is there anyone here?
We didn't read the rules.
What am I thinking seance?
Can we try moving this around a little bit? Okay, I see how that
You
works.
see how it works?
Mm-hmm.
So when the top layers go first, and the glass has to chase them, that means the force is coming from us.
Gotcha.
And
Oh,
if
that's
the glass moves, and we have to chase the glass, that means something else is moving it. So we want to know if you're moving it this time. Bitch.
Oh, so that's the challenge?
That's the challenge, Jesus.
It's not,
He's
it's not
like,
to see
push
if
down
the
and-
Ouija board works. It's to see if I can make this move without moving the top layer.
Yes. This is hard to get
You're
because
pushing,
it's.
you're pushing it down.
I
Because
know.
it's
I was
so
trying
dark.
different things.
Be light, damn it.
I'm trying different things.
We might have to put the light on for this because this is too dark,
Too dark.
to see if the cardboard's moving.
Is that better?
I don't know.
You can get closer.
Maybe the girls should try. We have smaller fingers.
And you guys are just dueling it out, see if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not our fault. It's evolution. Testosterone.
See, that's good.
Yeah, it's solid.
You actually could see it twist too. That's nice. You better improve upon this and do like a ball bearing. Two wafers between ball bearings.
See the ball bearing,
Like-
just a little bit of Teflon.
Teflon,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a little nylon and Teflon sheet, a little thin sheet in the middle. It's how this so slippery.
So if we were to go to, let's say, the yes.
Oh, you know where the S is? Oh, yes. I
Yes.
thought you said S.
So yeah, you see the top move first.
Mm-hmm. That was very slight, but yeah.
It's actually harder to see with these two because they definitely have a softer touch.
It's very subtle.
Yeah, but it goes, even if it's not at the
Yeah.
start. Once you get momentum going, it slowly slides over.
That's the thinnest rubber band I could find. But yeah, I mean it works. I'm still seeing the slight.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
movement
had
is
people to practice, like,
Candles.
and to
Low
trick
light
people,
situation, yeah.
Yeah. I
because
mean,
if
Well,
they're,
I think
if
that-
we know what the
that's not-
answers are and we know we're going to go, that's why I was asking.
Right.
If we went to the yes, if we're working
Make sure
in
you turn the light
joint
on.
together and I'm
Together.
pushing against enough against you and you're pushing with more pressure, then we could probably
Yeah.
keep it more.
Well, it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting how this kind of proves what Mitch showed earlier with the pressure going back
Right.
and forth and everything. How you can do it with really subtle.
And the difference, like you said, I mean, if they're doing a Ouija board session where people believe it's working and they set the stage, yeah, it's low light, candles, you can't see nothing. Whereas if we do an experiment like this, we're going to have the lights on. So everybody can see it. We're going to have a camera
Or
right
like-
there.
The sisters, if they were working together and they already knew what they wanted the answers to be,
Right.
and they could work together to make sure that
Yeah.
wouldn't move and give them away.
Changing directions is the most obvious one.
Well, and with this, it sticks. So when you change
Yeah.
direction, you're going to have friction. It's going to.
Unless you turn it with it.
It's much easier when
Now the question is, what
What's
letter?
it stopping at? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the glass
Yeah,
is
that's
so
why
big.
I brought this out.
Well, you could always just.
We could get a little shot
You-
glass and make the little
I was
things
gonna say you could
smaller.
always
Yeah.
just put like a pen right there or something, so it just points straight down,
The little pendulum.
or even a straw.
Or
I like the shot glass idea though. We could do that.
Shot glass is
We'll get a shot glass.
pretty typical for people when they don't have a
we'll
plant
put the
shot.
little felt sticky things on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, two people were kind of fighting a little bit, which probably makes it a little easier.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, you can watch the. It takes a little bit, but yeah, it changes direction.
Take can you slip 1, 2, 3, like 3 or 4 discs out of there, so they'll go into a little looser. That might work for a smaller glass. That's a bit better.
actually makes it a bit easier. Honestly.
Still maybe do some rubber band.
I think you may actually want more.
I think, yeah, because of the material I'm using.
A little too much friction.
Yeah. It's still moving.
Mm-hmm. I can still see them.
Almost like a, if you could do like
Cool.
thin metal, like you know how slinkies are, where you can see like that entire
Slinky?
movement up and down.
The mini slinkies.
Mhm.
That would actually work.
I have the little ones.
Yeah.
About the size of that, actually.
Because then, yeah, you eat right on the edge.
And then
You
wouldn't
you,
be able-
you would
you wouldn't be
actually
able to move
see
it at
all
all.
the movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be able to move it at all.
Well, you could maybe cut it down like you're saying, put one of these on top.
Well,
There's
I'm
only
saying
like
like
a
if you
link
make them
to-
that thin at least,
Yeah,
and that way
Yeah.
you're just
that it
seeing
would
the top.
almost be like a
thing.
slinky where it.
Yeah, that's true. You can cut
Yeah.
it where it's all
Cut
in
it
a few
down,
layers,
yeah.
put a disc on top and the bottom,
Yeah.
Mhm.
attach it there.
That's a great idea.
They make plastic ones too, so it'll be
Yeah.
easy to cut. That spring steel is really tough.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, it worked really well.
Yeah.
You know, just put oil. And
Any other ideas?
Ideas?
Devolve into
Ideas.
philosophical discussion.
Yeah. That we can wrap it up. Yeah. Talk about. What do you guys
I
think?
really want it to work.
I mean, I was hopeful that something might
We'll
happen.
watch it throughout the night.
Uh-huh.
Actually,
I've
the
done
one
that.
time, at the orphanage, we did that. We left the spirit board out. We put some dust on top, put the planchette on top, and then we left an EM pump underneath because we were just like, you know, whatever. People say EM pumps feel it. Came back, absolutely nothing, of course, but
Right.
it's just like, you know, you would expect something, if anything, would happen then while nobody's around.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it out before, where I've left it down here, just on the board, and this out like this, and we went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up in the morning. Not anything. Not a quarter inch, nothing.
Biggest thing you would get is if Chewie accidentally runs
Right.
into the table.
But I left it on the floor too. It wasn't on the table or nothing. She
I
looked
think
up and
that
said
was
to us.
even before we had the dog.
Oh.
Actually,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting getting everyone together and doing this and
Mhm.
exploring the little like nudges and
I-
the feelings.
I would have thought that it would take a lot more to
to move it.
move it, honestly.
Yeah.
The few times I've
Yeah, when
used
you're
it before,
trying.
you know, I never would have thought like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because I've never tried to move it. So trying to move it was interesting.
Which, how much does the scale itself weigh? Is it heavier than the
It's heavier than
the
planchette.
planchette?
Yeah. I don't know. How do you, I'm not sure exactly how it weighs. What it weighs. It's pretty light.
Yeah.
No, it's just
But it depends on this.
the
This has
extra
felt.
pressure. Just because.
The other one.
Weighs
The
more.
weight.
Yeah.
This one has plastic.
You know,
This has some weight behind it.
it would be.
But it's also got four.
I was
felt
Shove
feet.
it felt. Yeah.
I was saying to him before, like almost if you could do like little ball bearings on the bottom so that it just slides. And then it'd be interesting for you to go up to somebody who uses the spirit board on a regular basis and hand them that as a planchette and say, okay, well then we shouldn't see a change between your resting and it moving.
Didn't I make
We did,
you
yeah, I was
a
just
ball
I was
bearing
talking about
one?
that. Yeah. I
I got to your ball bearing.
don't know where.
It's somewhere. It rolls. It's
Somewhere.
in the lowest point in the house right now.
Yeah.
It rolls.
I had it for the longest time. It was yeah, it was on my desk.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it got to.
But this, it slides. It does take a little bit more pressure. But still, relative pressure should be similar.
I think the top
Well,
is more slick.
right, you can get a grip. That's why
Yeah.
when we were trying, we put our fingers right on the edge, so we can get a grip on the edge. But
Well,
there-
can you-
there's,
Heavier, though.
but there's probably a purposeful design behind having raised lettering on these
Mhm.
planchettes.
And having it
Well,
be so light.
Can you zero it out? Like if you would put something on here to get grip, can you
Yeah.
zero it out?
No
Like you
stickers.
could almost use, or like I was gonna say like Gorilla Glue or something, and just put some lines
You
across.
can do a lot of
and-
things. Even if I just sanded it so it wasn't clear, it
Mhm.
could be a grip. But I'm not even making these anymore.
But if you did that, then it would be less pressure,
This is
Right.
this is
so it would
definitely
be
harder
easier
to
to move.
It's harder to push around and pull.
Right, which is part
Which
of
is the
see.
point.
That was
That's awesome.
the
Point,
the interesting thing in developing that is if the believers believed it would help believers and skeptics helped it would help the skeptics, right?
Mhm.
So that was fascinating. The
Because
fact
they're
that
telling us cheating
Well-
when they can't get finger.
I
yeah,
think
but then they would think that there was not enough extra pressure to blame people for when it moved, even though we probably would think that it was. So it worked in both directions. The
You're-
believers would think that only 3 times pressure. We're not doing that. That must be the spirits.
Bullshit.
Right, even though we just said we're willingly moving this around, and it's 3 times the pressure. So,
Yeah.
not spirits.
However, those old planchettes, those wooden ones, don't have any raised lettering.
That's right.
Yeah, but they have like that varnish. It's probably you get a really good grip on the varnish.
So I guess the general consensus among skeptical people is that this does not work. This was a nice get together to see everybody, but other than that, it did not
It
work.
works as intended.
It's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we just don't have any spirits here.
Or if we peek underneath, the portal of hell might be open.
Well,
Just
we-
good.
at the
We're good.
table.
Okay, so what we should do for next time, you need to put a pentagram right here.
Oh yeah, sure, that's gonna happen.
Sprinkle some salt all
Yep.
over.
Do it underneath the carpet.
Yeah.
I still would like to do this again with several people that believe this works because I think it would make a difference.
Maybe not in your house.
Why?
Why?
I don't know. Because if you're playing on their belief system,
The skeptic's house.
yeah.
Like,
That's
I'm
true.
open.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
right.
like if
Good
you're
point.
you're playing on their belief system, that is your point, then maybe
Right.
not at your house.
Spirits don't come through your threshold.
Right. And you control that floor if they don't like you.
Control
There.
Well, but I think he thinks that if they do believe it, then it will work. Because
Right.
their brains
Yeah,
are doing
I mean-
it
I think- and
because
that-
they want it to work.
That's the whole
You know
point.
what I
Is
mean?
like, but if they come here thinking, oh, it's not going to work because it's in his house,
Yeah.
you're taking that.
Oh, I thought
Out
you
of
were
the
saying more
equation.
like they feel like they're gonna be attacked because they're coming to Kenny's
No,
house.
no.
And I mean, you know what? I made sure I made that clear in like the invitation in the Facebook thing that I'm not. It's not to make fun of anybody. I just want to see what's going on. But what you're saying is exactly it. I get it a lot where self-proclaimed psychics say they can't read me because I'm skeptical, and that stuff like this or dowsing rods don't work for me because I'm skeptical.
But that shouldn't make a difference where you are.
It
Like,
sh-
I mean, you will be at their house,
But
so
that's
what?
logic. We're not applying logic.
They're
We're playing.
right. They're
feeling.
saying because this house this is my house, and all the work that I do is usually right here, and because of the environmental conditions for them are not right. They need to be in a more
You've created
Hot
Sunlay lines
energy,
or
yeah.
a haunted
area.
So,
interior.
so the real answer is, if somebody's house is possessed by a ghost, you should go and live there for a week
Well-
and thus cleanse
Cleansing.
the house.
Okay, well, wait. Let's back up a little bit because we've had stuff happen here in this house.
But are they going to believe you? Or him?
His face says no.
No, I don't think so. Because that was also during a time when we were ghost hunters and we
Part of the
believed a lot of
hysteria.
stuff, and we didn't like if something strange happened, that's the first thing that I jumped to. You know, I was one of the sheeple. I jumped right to a paranormal conclusion without giving it any thought. And once I started thinking about it, once I started looking into it more closely, when something weird would happen, and I looked at it, that no more activity, nothing happens anymore. So, yeah, I think most of that stuff was probably in our own head, we had that effect like after you watch a horror movie, you know, and you're in the dark and you hear a noise. All of a sudden that noise.
I don't agree
is
with
like,
that 100%.
But
I-
even if things did,
I remember like one time
Tapping.
when I was a kid, I was
Had
brushing
your
my teeth, right, and I picked up my
Somebody
cup
who
and I put it down on the
knows
counter,
that, you know,
and it slid
very
across. Well, the
arsenic,
first time it
like,
happened, it freaked me out. I thought it was like
maybe,
a ghost or
but
something.
that mentality
And
is
then,
still
you know, I think I ran to my parents and said something, and then I realized later there was water on the counter, and then that
Yeah.
little motion just sent it sliding. But of course, at 8 years old, I don't understand that. Well, even at 20, 30.
So what if you do it out in the backyard and you don't have to do it at somebody else's house? If you're outside, that wouldn't be.
I don't know. I think that would be something we'd have to talk to people that.
Or
do
what
this.
about a
You have
pub?
to
And
see
see
what
what
they
they say.
feel is the best conditions to do it.
What was that?
Right.
They may say outside's no good because spirits
Oh.
are out there.
Like
Pet
in
nurse.
In a bar, you don't want to do something like that in a bar. You have no controls at all.
well,
Well, the controls. We could take it with us.
The control would be
Controls
how
are-
much alcohol.
Well, no, I mean in the environment itself. Unless the place is closed, then you know if you have people coming in and out, you can't. You know, waiters and waitresses moving around, you can't.
Success is directly proportional to the bartender.
Actually, though, that would be interesting. Go to a bar and take a Ouija board with you and just have people.
Just sit there at the table.
Just put them out there. That'd be a social experiment.
that would
Yeah.
be a good
See what they do.
Put it out
How many
on a
people
couple
just
tables.
vacate the premises?
It's interesting.
It's a Saturday
Makes me
night.
want to do it.
It's a Saturday night.
Yeah, but I don't have Ouija boards to spare. These are mine.
If people,
Oh.
people will probably throw.
Toys R Us is open.
Yeah, you could always just go get a couple and then
I'll throw in $20.
throw a bunch out on all the tables.
By
And
the
see
way,
what
did I tell you
happens.
this looks really cool in the dark?
The blue light is very fascinating.
The blue sort of lights up the rest.
Nice.
You could make one.
Shut the light off for a second.
You could make one out of cardboard and leave it on the table.
Oh. Shut the camera light off for a second. See? Isn't
Ooh.
that cool?
That's pretty.
Ooh, so you can see the rest of it. My son and I made a really stupid commercial. I think it's on YouTube for this thing. I'll have to find it. I think you guys must have seen
How
it.
much were you selling these for?
I wasn't selling them. Shannon was selling them for $40.
Oh.
Yeah, steep. I was making them and she was just splitting it with me.